Hey everybody, Lee here, PC Junkie Mods. I got some stuff back from Powder Coat now. I'm going to go ahead and start assembly on the 900D. I noticed there's some videos out there that first tear down of the 900D. Well, this one's been tore apart for a couple weeks now. So anyways, so I'm going to go ahead and go over what we got here as far as what parts. So some of the parts that Bobby wanted powder coated. Here's the floor, the subfloor. Did the I/O panel. This is the back of one of the hard drives for the hot swap. Both the 5 1/4 or the hard drive bays are done. Then the 5 1/4 is done. And also we did the grill. It's I haven't put it back together yet, but the grill for the top. And then we also did the front and the back piece. So here's the other piece over here. And we also did the motherboard tray. So here's the motherboard tray, nice and red. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start assembling this case if I can remember how to put it back together, and then start. I gotta find out where all the wires are going to be run so I can figure out where to drill holes in the motherboard tray for the clips that we're going to be using and stuff like that. And then I can get the water cooling in and hopefully get this bad boy done. There was an issue with one of the pieces for powder coat didn't come out very good. That was the subfloor. I forgot to make sure there was a hole in it. It's like I was saying, there's a issue with this piece. So that kind of put us behind schedule. I'm supposed to have this done by Friday. Today is a few days away from Friday. Obviously, I think this video will come out afterwards. But anyway, so for the most part, I'm gonna go ahead and shoot me putting it back together. See how that works out. And then I also got all the fittings, so I'll probably pull all the fittings out and shoot a couple pictures of the fittings so you guys can see all the fittings and stuff. Everything in here is all bits power, and then we got some liquid, some coolants liquid. So I got some of this case together now. Obviously, I actually got most of the case together, and I started drilling some holes, and I got this is going to be for anything that's Molex. These would be for the fans. I drilled a bunch of holes for wire management. So there's a hole here, holes across the top here, a couple of holes down here, and then a hole down here at the bottom. So I'll be using these little wire clips. I'll be using these. This is Bobby's request for this stuff. So I got a lot of the water cooling laid out already. It's kind of hard to see down here in the bottom, but at the bottom there's the top of the rad. There's a tube, and the bottom is all pretty much solid fittings all the way down. And then I have a drain port here. I got to put a little bracket under it to keep it up, and it's got a valve on it, so that should work out nicely. So I got the floor in here, just kind of to lay out the water cooling and stuff. So a lot of people were asking about the floor, how I secured it. So I tapped and drilled a hole here and put a screw in it. This is probably not the permanent screw, but it's 6/32 thread, which is the most common screw for computers. So, and then also I tapped and drilled a hole here and here, so there will be 2 screws there and then one up front, and then basically the whole floor would pull out. But now the problem with a lot of the questions I'm getting about the floor is people want me to make them for them. That's not a problem, but you need to know where all the holes are going to be drilled at. So basically this one's designed, this floor here is designed specifically for Bobby's build. This fitting here will come out and go directly into the pump, which there's 3 holes drilled here for the pump, and this fitting right here will go directly into the graphics card. So if you don't know exactly where everything's going and you're going to be doing water cooling, getting one of these floors from me is going to be, you're going to be on your own. I mean, I could cut it and have it painted and all that stuff and send it to you, but if you don't know where you want your holes at, then you're going to have to drill all that stuff yourself, which is not a big deal. I mean, it's not that hard, but you know, so because for the most part, once you put this floor in and you lock it under this lip, you're not getting to anything down here anymore. You know, there's very minimal space to get your hand in here, so it's not like you're going to be able to do anything in there. And then even on the back here, once I put the power supply in, there's not going to be a whole lot of room here anymore. So as you can see, you know, I got fittings here and then fittings up top here, and then I got fittings here coming through the floor. So you know, once you put the power unit in, the power unit's going to end there, and this is going to be all the wires that are going to be routing to whatever in the case. So I don't know. It's totally on the person who wants the floor. It's not a big deal to me, but it's kind of one of those things. So anyways, so this is pretty much ready for all the gear to go in it and start running all the wiring and stuff. And I got the bracket for the res here, and I also did a drain port up here. So, and Bobby was here on Friday last week, and he checked everything out, and he likes it. Everything looks good. So the hard part, of course, for this fill port was to get this all situated. As you can see, it's 3 steps of metal. So this black piece has a piece of metal there, and this red piece is 2 pieces of metal there. So in order to drill that, you had to get a nice drill straight in, and actually I got it in there pretty good first try. So what I got now is kind of a countersunk fill port, which he likes it that way. It makes most sense to have the actual fill port, the fitting, in there because it's flat. This is tapered, the next one's even more tapered, so this worked out perfect like that. And this fitting here lines up perfect with the motherboard. So as you can see, it's not tight on there right now because the board's not in there. But anyways, so that's pretty much it. I mean, I just got to get everything together. Bobby changed the res on me again. It's not a big deal. Here's the original reservoir. It's red. I think the one that I have now that's in the package over here is black and red helix. So he was worried about too much red, and this isn't like a red like this red. I mean, when I put it in the case, because of the red motherboard tray, it does accent it and give it a nice red behind it, but at the same time he's worried about too much red. There's a lot of red right now inside the case. Yeah, it looks like a lot of red, but the board's going to be covering that, the pump and stuff, and all these parts are black, so it's going to really accent with the red really well, because you know, even with the front will be pretty much all black. You know, he's got a fan controller. He has a, what is it, a fan controller, a card reader, and then a DVD or a Blu-ray. So, and I'm going to take these pieces here, these pieces that go here, and I'm going to cut the ends off. So I'll cut them off like right about here, and then I'm going to somehow I haven't figured out how yet, but I'm going to attach the ends in these spaces to fill that gap. So the only thing that will really be countersunk will be the devices. That'll keep all this all nice and symmetrical. It'll look real good that way. I wish there was an easy way to move the drives forward, but unfortunately, without drilling a bunch of holes again, and as you can see where the holes are at, with my luck the holes will land on this angled spot here, and I don't want to go through all that. So anyways, so that's where we're at now. I'm going to go ahead and start putting all the parts in and get the water cooling all connected up and get all the wire management going. I still got to wire manage the fans down here in the bottom. They're just kind of thrown in there for right now because to lay out all the water cooling. So I got to get those all figured out and attach all that stuff. So alright. So I'm at the point of filling this system now. I wanted to go over a couple things that I did, like the wire management on the back. We used, this is the first time I ever did the terminal block. These are the 2 pumps. I just sectioned them off because I was powering it up earlier to make sure everything worked. So basically I have all the Molex stuff split through here, and the grounds are here, and then these are actually splitting some fans, and then so that's that section. And then I did wire clips on all the wires. Obviously I'm not done yet, but I can fine-tune that while I'm leak testing the case. So what else we got here? And then we got a drain port here in the front. I made a little bracket for it so it'll stay, because without the bracket it just falls to the face there. Then I got pretty much all of the wires, except for the stuff that you saw in the back, there's minimal wire inside the case. For the most part, the only thing you're really going to see is the stuff that plugs in at the bottom, the USBs, the on-off switch, the USB 3.0s, and then the sleeve cables that are going to be coming in here. And that's about it as far as wires go. So right now we're at the point, everything is assembled, the whole floor and everything down there is all locked in. I'm done down there, so I don't have to, because in order to get to any of that, or if I have to take something apart, I have to pull the floor back out, the pumps off, all kinds of stuff, so I don't really want to do that again. But so yeah, so me and Dwight are going to proceed to attempt to fill. So I'm actually going to fill from the top of the res. This is the actual fill port, but once the system is completely full, this will be utilized to fill the system. The reason I'm going to fill from here is because it has direct feed into the pump, and you know, filling from here I'm going to be fighting a lot of gravity, which I don't want to spend all day trying to fill the case. So I figured, well, I'll pop my hose in right here and just fill that reservoir full, and hopefully it'll get through the pumps without me turning it on and fill up some of the radiators down there. And then we should be good to go, because once I get this section full, then I can move on over here and just keep filling through here, and it should be good. And I wanted to see if my fill port theory is going to work while the system's on. That's why this is open right now. Plus, it'll make it easier to fill because of the fact that there's 2 ports open instead of 1. Won't get air bubbles. Anyways, so I think that's about it, right, Dwight?
Mm-hmm. All right. Go ahead. 4 times the charm.
Alright, 4 times the charm. Alright, so as you can see, we are back in my dungeon in the garage here. Earlier we were inside the living room in my house. It's been like 110, 120 degrees out here in the garage. So I've been working on Bobby's build in my dining room with the AC nice and cozy, and Dwight loved it in there so much that he asked me how come I didn't mention that earlier, so now I'm mentioning it now at the ending. So as to the computer is done. I got a couple little things I got to do before Bobby shows up tomorrow to pick it up. It has been filled. It's doing Prime 95 right now. Under Prime at stock speeds, the hottest it's gotten in my... How hot do you think it's out here, Dwight, right now?
Hot.
It's over 90. So so I'd say ambient's around 90 or so. And
Fahrenheit.
Yeah, Fahrenheit. So the hottest it's seen so far is mid-50s.
Celsius.
Celsius, that's not bad. It has dropped some because this was full. It was full all the way to the top, so I'll probably top it off before I send it off with Bobby. Another thing that I got to do before I finish or before I hand it off, is I got to put in this custom SLI bridge cover. It does light up. This was done by Thomas Harrell from White Light Laser. You can find him on Facebook, White Light Laser. He does excellent work, so if you need like a PSU cover with some logo or emblem in it or whatever, he's the one to talk to, or even an SLI bridge, because I'm going to get a couple. And then also I got to do the 5 1/4. So the idea here is right here at the tab, I'm going to cut this off on both ends, and I'm going to double side tape these right next to the 5 1/4 bays, and I think that will make the front look a lot cleaner instead of a section of it being like, I don't know, 1/8 inch, 1/4 inch, about a little over an 1/8 inch in. So that'll clean that up. It'll look pretty good. That's about it. Besides the hard drive I gotta move. So other than that, it should be good. Tomorrow when Bobby shows up, I'll try to get an outro, his first expression of the box when he gets here. He hasn't seen it all put together. So he was here about a week ago, and he was helping me mess around with some stuff, try to figure some things out. So thanks for watching. Until next time. Alright, so Bobby just got here. He's here to pick up his his computer. So let's see what his first expression is when he gets to the computer. Here he comes. Just got out of the hot rod.
Oh my god.
So what do you think, man?
Perfect, man. Everything I imagined.
Looks good?
It's amazing.
Just got the RAID finished on the 4 terabytes. Got them switched over. Got the EVGA symbol lit up over there by Thomas Harrell.
Yeah,
that was fun. So I just got to finish these 5 1/4 bays while he's standing here. So I better get that shit done.